Welcome back to Fox 10 News at 4. Recently, the National American Red Cross celebrated its Founders Day. Now, that day marks the anniversary of the founding of the American Red Cross back in 1881. The organization known for running blood drives and helping in disaster situations, not to mention providing services to members of the American Armed Forces and their families. But did you know the South Alabama District contributes to more than 26,000 hours a year of volunteer service for the community? That's pretty impressive. We got Michael Brown here, the executive director for the local Red Cross branch. He's joining me in the studio to talk more about the impact that the organization have. And we're going to delve into hurricane season because that's what we're getting ready for right now.
That's right.
But quickly, I want to talk about the wide array of things that the organization does. My goodness. We
sure do. We here in South Alabama, we do disaster preparedness and response, which we'll talk about in a minute. We do service the armed forces. That was actually our first service we ever had when Claire Barton founded the Red Cross back in 1881. We do blood services. We collect blood. In fact, blood just moved into our building at 35 North Sage, so we're excited to have them under the same roof for the first time since 2003. And we also do CPR, AED, first aid, lifeguard training, babysitting training, and we perform all those services here in South Alabama.
So when you hear that number about the hours that are racked up, it all makes sense.
That's right, sure does. A lot of great volunteers.
We are in hurricane season. As it approaches, when you hear that, what kicks in first?
Well, we got a shaky start this year with Alberto, a named storm before June ever hit. June 1st is the beginning of the season, so that caught us on guard. So what we do is we prepare all year for this.
Yeah.
The Red Cross prepares all year for all disasters, all emergencies, but primarily here on the Gulf Coast, we think about hurricanes.
And when you say that you prepare, what does that mean? What do? You have a checklist of items needed, potential problem areas?
We do. We have a warehouse at our building at North Sage, and of course we have material staged outside the area to bring in once the hurricane hits. But one of the main things we do is we recruit and train volunteers to run shelters. We have shelter partners in the community. We go out and make relationships with those organizations, make sure they have an adequate facility to be a shelter, and then they're ready. And they either keep the cots and all the material on hand, or we bring it in shelter trailers. Again, we have trained volunteers to be shelter teams, shelter managers. And just for example, in Hurricane Harvey last year, we had 10,000 workers over there that were about 95% volunteers. We had 40,000 people in Red Cross shelters, so 40,000 clients that we sheltered and fed every day. And then in Hurricane Irma, we had 500 shelters open in Florida. So what we do is we prepare all year for that, and we always need more volunteers. So please, if you want to go to redcross.org and click volunteer, that'll lead you right through the process. Is there training involved for that? Absolutely. There's online training, and then you can decide what you want to do. We have disaster action team members that respond to house fires almost every night in Mobile and Mobile County and Baldwin County and all our 11 counties, actually. We have shelter teams that I mentioned. You can deploy on disasters, or you can stay home and work disasters here. You can do service to the armed forces. You can be blood services volunteers, and you certainly give blood. I guess for people watching right now, last question, what's the need right now? If you had a wish list, what would it be? The need right now is for us to have capable people step up and volunteer, and also to donate. We need resources ahead of time to be able to make a response like that. Last year the responses were huge. We still have people in Puerto Rico from Hurricane Maria. So we need volunteers, we need cash donations, and we need blood donations. We'll take your time, your blood, or your money. We make it real easy for you. There you go. Well, we certainly hope that that help can be given, because whenever anyone else needs help, the Red Cross is there. Yes, thank you so much for stopping by. We will have all of this posted for you on our website, fox10tv.com, so you can watch it shortly and share it with someone you know. That is fox10tv.com. Again, thank you. Thank you very much for having me.